couple of weeks ago, I went to the craziest crypto festival of my life. And spoiler alert, it turned out to be much more insane than I could have ever imagined. Yep, that's me. But before we go there, let's rewind. Every year, the most hardcore crypto degens meet for one giant festival, ApeFest. This year in Portugal, Lisbon. Obviously, I had to go. Now, there are many crypto events, but this one in specific hits on a whole other level. Eminem and Snoop Dogg even performed at one. So I wanted to see the craziness with my own eyes, see if the rumors are true, what kind of people I'd meet, and most importantly, if it's fun. After almost crashing like 30 times, I somehow arrived in Lisbon. And this is where the fun begins. Apparently, Portugal is very crypto-friendly. Only question is, how crypto-friendly are the locals? The plan is very simple. Speak to as many people as possible, try as many things as possible, try and meet some builders, some internet celebrities, and bring you along for everything. And hopefully we get some cool shots. After taking a quick shower, I decided to head out for the first event, 10KTF. Now, for those of you that don't know, 10KTF has a very deep history in the world of Web3. Michael Figge and people built the project from the ground up, then joined Yuga Labs, and just recently 10KTF got acquired by Possible Productions, which makes sense as this is Michael Figge's company. If you ever played League of Legends, been to Coachella, seen a Lady Gaga, Ariana Grande, Paul McCartney concert, or watched the Super Bowl, you have likely seen their work. That's all I'm gonna say. Incredible team. Very pumped to see what they have coming. Now, besides really good pizza and refreshments, this is where I quickly understood the main theme of ApeFest: cars and racing. Soon, this got much more insane. Yuga's evening event, however, is what really struck me. Holy snap. Say it with me, this is not a cult. Love or hate NFTs, Bored Apes, or the entire space, but credit where credit is due. Those guys at Yuga Labs certainly know how to build incredible experiences. And this wasn't even the main event. This was the kickoff party. Nuts. Now, we got those high-quality NFC cards that connected to our Twitter profiles, and this is where it really hit me. ApeFest wasn't just a festival, it was a crypto networking event disguised as a festival. And as someone who absolutely hates networking events, let me tell you, they nailed it. Free drinks, free food, people getting tattoos, buying merch, hanging out and casually checking out the new BMW M2, which had its global reveal just a couple of days prior to ApeFest. Plus, playing Dookie Dash in a brand new M2, it just gives off some very unique vibes. Now, in full honesty, I arrived in Lisbon with no expectations. None. And already at this point, ApeFest exceeded all of them by a mile. But the crazy thing is, this was only the start.
GM, this is Reaper. I'm out here at the BMW Bored Ape Yacht Club experience, racing experience. Get a chance here in a few minutes to run an M4 on the track. I could not be more excited. This looks super cool. I've heard nothing but awesome things about this.
BMW had their own experience set up in Lisbon, and boy, they did not disappoint. It's hard to describe, but essentially, we were driving in an augmented reality experience. As soon as we put on the headset, we were able to see the interior of the car, the steering wheel, and everything else, but the rest, the outside world, became a video game. Imagine playing a Bored Ape version of Mario Kart with a 550 horsepower BMW M2 and in real life. Insane experience.
That was insane. Dude, I was whipping it. I was going for broke. Phenomenal. Thanks, dude. Phenomenal. Thanks so much.
So here's a little of a backstory. I already booked my flight and my apartment because I wanted to capture ApeFest regardless. Little did I know what would happen next. Imagine my surprise when a couple of weeks ago, while I was on the couch reading Napoleon Hill's Think and Grow Rich. Okay, that's a lie. I was probably max bidding on some meme coins, but regardless, I got a bunch of messages from well-respected people from Yuga Labs. They approached me for a video. Of course, as you do, I took it as a huge honor and signed a mutual non-disclosure agreement. So I wasn't allowed to say or spoil anything until now. I bring this up because my video was completed before I arrived in Lisbon. At least this is what I thought. Nope. On the day of the Ape Chain announcement, which my video is about, I'll link that up here, Ian reached out. By the way, shout out to you, man. If it wasn't for you, this entire day would have been impossible to pull off. We gotta change the video, man. Something that I included won't be available at launch. Now I can't share that right now. Keep in mind, I got this text 3 hours before the main event, in a cab driving to another event. Okay, new plan. Go to the next event, capture it, get as many shots as possible, and immediately head to the main event, bring my entire gear and re-edit the video before the keynote starts, and we're good, right? Simple. Only problem, I have about 2 hours left. With no time to lose, I rushed to the main event, which should have taken me about 20 minutes by car. And as always, when you really need to be on time, the most random things happen to make your life miserable. Seriously, like what are the odds of a traffic jam right now? As soon as I arrived, Ian picked me up immediately. We headed straight backstage where I met Figgy and Greg, who were preparing for their keynote speeches. I started editing the moment I sat down, and well, what an experience. Flipping around my monitor and showing those two legends my video, 6 minutes of pure silence. Until Greg finally went, dope. And this is where the craziness begins. Thousands of people came pouring in, more and more. Soon the entire place was packed. And again, free drinks, food, mini games, a giant moon floating above our heads, gorillas dancing, people vibing, an other side portal for the people at home. They even decided to place a pool table in the middle of the venue. Like, what? What most people didn't see was the entire media production team from Yuga that was located backstage. Probably over 30 people working non-stop. I have no footage because I didn't want to interrupt anyone, but guys, let me tell you, the level of professionalism was mind-blowing. I wish you could have seen that. So I decided to grab my gear, hid somewhere in the back of the venue, and waited. Waited for the keynote to start.
Oh shit! Oh shit! It's the homies!
Finally, Illa stepped on stage and gave the intro. And then I gave another part of the intro. Now at this point I was literally shaking. I don't get nervous easily, but holy snap. My fitness tracker started vibrating because it probably thought I had a seizure or something. And after my intro, Figgy stepped on stage to officially announce Ape Chain.
What's up, apes?
Then Gaga came right after that. I ran backstage, opened my laptop, published the video, and for the first time I was able to breathe again. For a minute, because it wasn't over. Far from it, Rita revealed the new BMW Bored Ape collaboration, which he designed. French Montana walked on stage, and even Anderson .Paak performed. Insane. Now, in full honesty, the rest of the night is pretty blurry to me. One thing I know for sure, we all got absolutely hammered.
My alarm just went off. It's 9 a.m. It feels as if I've slept like 2 hours. Dead. Absolutely dead.
So, this brings us to the last and final day of ApeFest. Everyone who was able to wake up came to the hangover hang. Again, such a crazy location. The attention to detail. I just needed to know how long it took to plan something like this, so I want you guys to meet the legend who made it possible. And he's an absolute Chad. I mean, quite literally, meet Chad.
We finished up ApeFest in Hong Kong, I think November of last year. We took maybe a few weeks off, really taking in all the lessons we learned. And then come maybe the middle of January, we started to think about where do we want to go this year. So from there, we kind of went through a process of like, what cities make sense, what was the feedback we heard from folks. And then over the next 9 months, we really brought it to life, coming to Lisbon 3 times in just, countless hours. Like I say to the team before we come on site, these things can be stressful. Stuff might not go perfectly, but you're making people's memories that will last a lifetime. And it's just all about like, if you're having fun, they'll have fun. And this weekend was a perfect example of that.
And all of us could feel it. Yuga Labs really wanted to create a lasting memory, and in my opinion, they killed it. They absolutely nailed it. Just look at Bandit enjoying his pizza. This says it all. Look at his happy face. Yuga even managed to bring the Bored Ape BMW to this location, which brings me to Rita. I love this guy. Such a charming and friendly human being, and possibly one of the best networkers I've ever met in my life.
It's the first time I do something on a PC and then it's actually there in front of you. It's an amazing feeling. Usually we do 3D and that's it. Now it's 3D, then a real car. Amazing feeling to get to work with Yuga and BMW at the same time. Both amazing brands that I love, and to bring the Ape vibes to a real car is amazing. Yeah, that was experience.
While we were still curing our hangovers, Ape went on an insane run. Ape Express launched, new tokens were created every minute, and for a moment we were transported back to 2021. Rita launched G's, monkeys were born, bananas were sold, dragons started flying, drivers started racing, token gators started bridging, Jimmy started mutating, and Curtis was being traded. I might be tripping, but it really feels like the early days of NFTs. Every day, new wallets are born, volume increases, and the fun is returning. And one man saw this coming from miles away.
Come on over to Curtis.
So, you put a lot of work into bringing people together in Web3, and it's really interesting that everywhere else it's like highly financialized, but it's bigger than that. It's about culture, it's about bringing people together for experiences. And like when I look around here and there's like people from every walk of life, it's really a reflection of the diversity that we see in Web3. In the old world, it's really like one directional. It's like people build something for an audience and that's it. But here it's a conversation. You build it with the community, and hopefully it's built in such a way that you and the community win together. That's a very fundamental difference between building in Web3 versus Web2. You have to build things so that the whole network wins.
By the way, the animation of this shot was done by Figgy himself. I need to point it out because it's true, and I have massive respect for this man and his work. So thanks again, Figgy. I appreciate you. Truth be told, I was so wrong about everything. Prejudice is a scary thing.
I think I slept like 3 hours over the last 3 days. My eyes are super small, so I'm wearing glasses. Apologies. No, like for real, it's been wild, guys. Like I met so many dreamers and so many crazy people here, and they turn out to be the complete opposite of what I expected. I expected to meet a bunch of nerds, a bunch of really weird crypto guys, but that wasn't the case at all.
Hardly nobody was younger than 30, from different backgrounds, with different experiences, and at different places in life. During my entire time at ApeFest, nobody shilled me a token, a NFT, or anything at all, because all of us are riding this wave together. It felt like a celebration of how far we've come, not a shill of where we're going, because we all know the destination anyway. And here's the thing. This is what I really want you to take away. The majority of people thinking about the crypto space think of people wanting to make money or rich people that already made enough money. While this is true for the most part, there's also an entirely different side, which is why projects like Buy Autistic are so important to point out. They are doing incredible work and the complete opposite of what most people think that the crypto space is about. Sadly, David B, the founder, couldn't make it to ApeFest, so I wasn't able to meet him and interview him, but shout out to you, man. I love what you do. If we want to grow the space as a whole, giving back should become a bigger priority than securing our bags. I believe this is how we onboard, and this is how we take responsibility for being earlier than 90% of the population. So in this spirit, And if you've made it this far, I'd like to onboard some people. As the video is about ApeFest, it only seems fair that this applies to people who have not interacted with ApeChain yet. If you engage with this video and follow me on X, I'll pick a couple of winners and gift you some NFTs. That's it. Aping together is just much more fun and rewarding. And who knows, if we see another crazy NFT bull run, and if you play your cards right, you will be the person who gives back during the next cycle. Stay safe, and I'll see you soon.
Nashize imana